subscribers. We got quite a herd of you come in here of late. You win some, you lose some, for whatever reason. Today, I want to split up a little bit of kindling, put it in the big white box there, and this is for next winter. We're still burning wood here. So it's May the 7th or 8th today. Anyway, just going to make it a little smaller. Just want something to keep me company, so my wife's busy doing other things. And we should do it. I've got all my digits so far. What's going on here? This is cedar we got from a cedar from over the hill. We call it over the hill. If you watch enough of the videos here, you'll know where all these different locations are. And we try to keep them when we talk about different locations, we try to keep them the same, so everybody knows where we might be. There's the beaver dam on the road. There's the beaver dam down at the end of the road. This stuff lights like crazy. I don't get too fussy with, I went to one of the local shops here called Dollarama. They've got some fire starter for a couple of bucks. They're flat, it's about that long, it's about that thick. There's about 4 or 5 layers in it. And you just snap off a little cube. And you light that up. Put a little bit of this over top of it. And I have another video showing how I start my fire. And I'll take this firewood like behind me. What I do is I put a nice row of big stuff on the bottom. And then build up the sides of it. Pack it all in there. And then I'll stuff a bunch of this in there, and on one of the logs underneath, I'll put that little piece of fire starter in it, light it, leave the door cracked, leave the draft on wide open, and come back 5 minutes later and close the door, then come back in about 10 minutes after that, and I've got a roaring fire, and I don't have to muck with it for a couple of hours, and then I just fill it up again. Without the fire starter, of course. Works good. Now this stuff sat outside all winter, and I'm telling you, it's featherweight. It's really light. All the moisture's driven out of it. Not only that, this was a blowdown over the hill. My neighbor across the way brought his little 4-wheel drive tractor in it. That was it. In no time flat, we had it up to the house. There was about, I don't know, 3 little logs or so off of it. Some of this stuff's got, you can see the knot here. I don't know if I can split. some of it by hand or not. We'll give it a try. Boy, it hurts when you get your fingers stuck in between a piece of wood. Gives you a whole new sense of respect. There. Now, I've already got a box that big behind there, full to the top, of kindling for later. Now what we'll do is I got some leftover construction stuff like that left in here. And by about January, when I've gone through this box, I'll be down to get rid of the last of that stuff. And that's really good kindling, that old construction stuff. Whether it's pine, spruce, whatever. There we are. Now I've got a meat cleaver in the house right near the what do you call it, the fireplace, and if I have to dice up that a little bit or make an arrow out of it, like like when you cut it and you shave it so you get the curls going on it, I can't remember what, feathers or something, it really makes it light up really good too. Now, this morning it was raining out, and it didn't look like it was going to get anything done outside. But luckily, the sunshine's out now while we wait for the snowstorm to come. And after the snowstorm's over, we're going to get another day. So the snowstorm comes Saturday morning. And the rain starts Sunday morning again. I don't mind. Not much you can do about it. I mind you. I suppose somebody could find a politician to say that he could change the weather, but yesterday, my wife and I were out in the front of the property with the little chainsaw, the lawnmower, and a bunch of other oddball tools. And we managed to get rid of quite a bit of the burdocks that's up there. We've got another couple of places to clean up, and hopefully we can get her done soon. Then it'll be, the worst of it will be over with. And the reason why we got to get rid of the burdocks, or I don't know, they call them stickies or something like that too. They're round, about that big, and when they stick on your clothes, they're there until they decide to fall off or you break them off, and the dogs get them. And Storm, he don't like them. He don't like you taking them off him either. You'd rather dig them out with his teeth. Ooh, look at that. myself last year really good with the axe on the back of a couple of fingers. Awful strange things going on nowadays. Got a lot of conspiracy theories going on. I got warned by Facebook. Smarten up. So, is that the end of free speech? I don't know. Coming good. We bought a rototiller that I'm going to show you guys in a future video soon. I think it's important that you go out, you secure your food supply, grow some potatoes, whatever. I don't know what the city folk are going to do. All I know is it's sure not nice when I go into the city. People with masks on. I seen a guy get the other day, this was good at Costco. He had the mask on up where his mustache was, and his nose was hanging out. Now, he might be one of those guys that got a lot of nose hairs. I don't know. And it kind of filters those viruses out. But I got a chuckle out of it. But you can't really say anything to anybody. You look at everybody that's walking around in these places, these little stores, or there's stores in itself, but they're like a bunch of timid rabbits. They're, you know, like scared little puppies or something. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Try the other side. Try another one. Every once in a while, you'll see me throw a piece of wood in there that I split, but I didn't pull it apart. And it's cracked. And that, I don't know if you can see the light through there or not, but when those burn and the fire licks up into that little crack there, it helps get the fire hotter. I don't know why. I can only guess. I know somebody will tell me why. that, see? If I leave that like that, that burns really good. It catches quick. Now up on Lover's Lane here, outside here, if I remember, I'll grab the camera. And what I'll do is I'll just show you. I've got pieces of wood on there like that long, just piled up. And that's been a bunch of wet stuff sitting out there. It's made from a Lombardy tree. And the Lombardy is just kind of like a tree weed. It grows really fast, like 25 years you can have a 50, 75 footer, but it dies quick also. And in a previous video I was cutting these things down because they make a lot of widowmakers. The fellow that had the property before me, because we did get this property for like 7 years ago, and he had it for a good 20, 25 years before that, he did a lot of planting around, and that was one of the things he planted. There was 5 or 6, 7 or something like that on the edge of Lover's Lane, and then up at another gate that I'll show you at another time, there's another 5 there, but they're a little younger. And I think what they did was they used them for the wind in the wintertime. Because when you look out over the hill, up the side there, we get a lot of wind blowing up in here. Really bad. In the wintertime. And as a matter of fact, just outside here, in the driveway, it's not uncommon to get 6-foot snow drifts in there. And it's hell to snow plow in there. When the top of the snow plow's maybe 2 feet off the ground or less, and then the snow is that much higher, I usually end up having to get my wife to break it down in front of the snow blower so that we can just get it out of the driveway. Really appreciate my neighbor Neil coming over and getting this. I've been asking somebody for a long time to give me a hand, and I guess that's what happens when you're in love. You can't help the old man no more. I'm not exactly sure, but as of today, we've got 120 cases of COVID-19 in the province, and all but 2 have recovered. There's nobody in the hospital, and no one's died. What luck do we have? I tip my hat to the politicians in this province that joined together instead of fighting against each other during this pandemic. They have, we didn't have a majority government, so they had to kind of get together, or we would have had to go back to an election. You can't have an election with this crap going on. So that's just the way that story goes. There's the big knot. we bought this place in 2013. It had a fireplace in it. You can see all these pictures on the Sheepy Hollow, Canada, or Sheepy Hollow, New Brunswick, I can't remember which one it is, on Facebook. And we were lucky. The old fireplace had a slit in the bottom of it. I think that's where the air came in. Or that's the way they got rid of the ashes. I'm not really sure. There was another thing that you could flip up to make it go down into the basement. And, geez, we didn't know it. But in the basement, on each end of the house, we've got a crawl space off of the main part of the basement. And all the ashes were falling down there. We were lucky we never got the house burnt to the ground. But since then, we replaced the stove, or the fireplace, with an insert. The insert's a Napoleon 1402 something or other, and it works the very best. The only thing that I've had wrong with that is I broke a brick, and the other thing I did was, because of me jamming in the wood there, I didn't really know how these, not a country boy at heart, or I am at heart, but fire's burnt, smoke's burning, blowing in here. Anyway, what I would do was, I forgot what I was going to say. Too bad I couldn't back it up. But anyway, we put this other fireplace in there, and it works the very best. So, gotta go this way, because the knot is right there. There. And if you cut this way, that knot is as hard as hell. It's like a rock. So if you're going to try to split it, you have to split it on either side of that knot. It'll come off. I don't know if I can get this piece. No. Alright. You can see the little piece of knot there. It's hard, man. See, there. Well, we're not doing too bad. This is about, these two boxes is about half the kindling I used to split. You can, I used to go through a lot of kindling because I didn't really know how to light a fire. And then I did. Figured it out. Even the little Joe tool, I don't know if you can see it back there from there. I light it the same way. I put this can't take a big piece of wood, so I got a whole bunch of pieces that are fairly flat, and I put them in there, and I build it up to about at least half of it's filled with nice pieces of wood. Then, like before, I'll take a bunch of kindling, stick it in the top. But I use newspaper to light this one out here. I take the newspaper, I roll it up, tie it in a donut, and stuff them in the hole up in the top. And when I light it, I keep the door cracked and the draft open on it quite all the way. And it's amazing how quickly the fire gets lit. I'd love to sell that little fireplace or trade it with somebody who's got a bigger one around locally, because this bugger here just doesn't heat this garage very well in the dead of winter. Also good, there's a shop heater up there that I use to get the initial heat going. But it's electric. And I don't like wasting money on electricity. I find it's pretty expensive. What I wouldn't mind doing, if I could find a cheaper way, with a solar panel maybe, stick it out the garage door there, and have some kind of an element in here, so as soon as the sun hits the element, it starts to heat the element up, and just that in itself would radiate a little extra heat into the garage in the wintertime. But we also use the garage, you can't see it from where you're looking, we use this like a refrigerator out here as well. It's so freaking cold. Look at that knot. She really helps, keeps the wood together. There. No. This should split like nothing. Now it's got no knot in it. Should. I like this little hatchet. It's a Fiskars, an old one. We got a couple other Fiskar axes too. Of course, I'd like a proper axe, but we don't do much in the way of wood splitting here. I got a little splitter there as it is. Living the dream. Oh yeah. I've tried the camera out with one of those headband things. And I'm looking forward to taking you guys all on a tour of the upper part of the property, and as soon as the road dries up a little bit better down over the hill, I'll be going down there with to check out that damn beaver. got to get him out of here. The first beaver down that we come to down there is a problem because they're building on the road. The other beaver down, he's built right along the property line, and I don't care. It's okay. And might go down there and see if there is some fish. Of course, to see if there's fish, you got to catch one first. But I suspect there could either be brook trout in there, or there might be some rainbows, and there should be these fish they call, locally I think they call them chub. That's good. Still flashing. You're still with me. Yeah, the hell with it. There, that's going a little bit up. Oh, was. Alright. There. Getting there. So here's a shout out to Capper Outdoors. I like his channel. He's takes land and turns it into deer habitat. I like Cecil Skinner's channel. Is the he's a fix-it guy. Really practical, easy going. Couple other channels I watch. I think a lot of people watch them. Bucky Billy Ray. He's a forester, or an arborist now, I suspect is what you call it. There's Life with the Morgans. And he does a lot of similar things that we do around here, except he's fortunate enough to have a tractor and other pieces of equipment that really make it easy for him to look after his property. They also have better weather down there in Pennsylvania, where they can well, they get a longer season, so they don't get next to nothing for snow. When winter comes here, that's it. Yes, sir. Just about done here. Still blinking. Yeah, I gotta get this kindling done. One more whack at this thing, I guess. See that? There's a big friggin' knot right there. Oop, that's as solid as a rock. Okay, let's whittle these down now. Then I can go in, upload the video, yeah, we don't have normal internet here either. We're on a, what do you call it, satellite dish. And I have a 10 megabit connection. And most of the time it's under 5. So this video here, depending upon how long it ends up, will probably take 3-4 hours to upload. Forever. I'm left-handed, by the way. Let's see. Okay, full of knots. Oh well. No point in fretting over it. pretty good job. Oh yeah. That's how dry it is. Just about done. And then I'll just shake that down. Wood is a lot of work. I get 4 cords delivered on the side of the garage right there. Got to put it all into the back of the lawnmower, drive it through the gate. Every time I got to go through the gate, I got to open up the gate, watch it, make sure the dogs aren't going to escape, drive in, close the gate, unload the wood. Pull back out, get another load. Same thing over and over and over again. It would be easier if I could load it and pile it right here, but then I could fall against the side of the house, and if it does that, because I'm not an expert wood stacker, plus the slope of the roof, if the gutter gets frozen, all the water ends up going over top of the wood. I am going to look at upgrading the wood shed this year. And pretty soon, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take that apart, move it out by the fire pit, and build another one. I'd like to build one that could put about 6 cords of wood in it. So we could order 6 cords, and then we'll burn probably a good 3 of it. And then after that, we could probably get ahead of the game. There's my beautiful wife. There's Bubbles. Want to get in on the picture? What? Well, she's my silent partner. That's silent enough some days. Oh well. Yee-hee. There we go. Just about done. Two pieces there and a little bit on the floor. channel I really like that's worth watching. It's called Our Wyoming Life. This fella took over a ranch out in Wyoming, of course, Greenhorn, and over a period of time turned it into a fairly successful little business. He's on just off a highway and has opened up a little store. Took one of the houses on the property, made a B&B out of it. It's pretty nice. Whatever you got to do to survive nowadays. Another guy I watch, get a kick out of the young fella, is Cole the Corn Star. And I think they're from Iowa. They have a farm, or a series of farms. It's got to be huge because they've got well over 1,000 acres, I think. And they put soybeans, corn in their property. It's a lot of work. Awesome. I watched Norm from True North Living, I think it's called. Shame on me for not remembering his channel's name. And he's got a really, he does really good. He's got a trap line about 3-4 hours drive on a snowmobile at a good clip outside Churchill, Manitoba, where he traps wolves, wolverines, marten. And it's quite interesting because I think it's his father's trap line. He's trying to get his son to take it over. He's just gone back to Churchill. As the season's over for that now. Oh. Pretty well filled her box. There, that's the heartwood, the center of the tree. Still blinking. Yeah, we had to light the fire last night. It was cold. Good enough. And the last chunk. There, that's what keeps it together. There. That'd be that. That. Now I could burn all this little stuff, but I don't think so. There, good enough. There. This back here. There we go. We'll give this a little shake. Lot better. And that'd be that. Thanks for coming along. And I'll show you the fire outside. There we go. Oh, let there be light. And you can see for miles. Here we are. Look at that. Burning good. Over here, Star. Here. Lots of wood left. Yeah, that split up. Go get another tree. That's the end of it. Oh well. You folks take care. I'll be back soon enough. And have a great day.